Gotta get the fucking mood right.
Mm-hmm.
We the last of a dying breed. And a child, can we find you, please? Please, please. We the last of a dying breed. And a child, can we find peace? Peace. 10 years. Like, first, like, I just want to just start from there. Like, just 10 years doing anything is crazy. Like, putting 10 years of your life into one specific thing consistently, is just that alone is like,
there's a testament to how like strong something that was built so long ago can be when it lasts as long as 10 years. That's a decade. Like, that's a long ass time.
10 years isn't like 100.
No,
but like,
it's small in comparison to what
to the grand
is at
scheme,
large.
But 10 years ago, how old were you? You know what I mean? And 10 years from now, how old will you be? It's all subjective. That's what I learned just in life. Now that we're at an age where we sink or swim on our own terms, everything is all reference point and just subjective and
trial and error.
Yeah, I know you can attest to that, because
indeed, I definitely can.
Nobody's wrong.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Nobody's wrong, but everybody's right. You know what I mean?
And you can hear the 10 years in the album.
It's like a time capsule. You hear shit as it. That's wild. That's definitely wild.
There's so much shit that we were able to like get off our chest and get just like off
10
of us
years
from
worth
10
of
years.
shit.
Yeah.
Like, imagine getting 10 years worth of just the good, the bad, and the ugly just out within a certain limited time. Or like a certain body of work where it's like, that's it.
This shit leave me speechless sometimes. Like, the whole ordeal.
The execution level is like, you'll set a certain goal for yourself. Maybe it's not to the highest degree, or like you said, like, alright, I'll put it here. When in reality, you know you can accomplish something where it's up to here. That's what people be selling themselves short.
Underestimating themselves. Versus like overthinking it over the course of too much time.
Like, you gotta know when to fall back. That's the biggest thing. Knowing when to fall back, and knowing when, like, knowing that you already know what you're doing, instead of like along the way questioning every little step. It's like, nah, you gotta take the step first
to even know
if you took a wrong step. And there's no wrong step. You just retrace it if need be.
It represents like a part of not only the 10 years, but who we are as individuals. So much like of the expression is done with like so much heart.
You'll just be sitting there, blank canvas. You blink, there's a whole fucking Mona Lisa there, whatever that is to you.
Yeah.
To me, the Mona Lisa, the actual painting, isn't the most eye-catching to me. Everyone puts it on a pedestal, but to you, your Mona Lisa might be something you made when you were like 16 because of what that represents as someone coming up.
Never stop making Mona Lisas, quote unquote.
Just in terms of you know what I mean? Because again, at the end of the day, if no one else is behind the message, you gotta stand behind your shit, or else it's like, what the fuck are we doing? How you feel about music as it ages? Do you think it ages like wine? Do you think it ages like milk? 9 times out of 10, like, or like, do people shift what like date you can put on music, or like the expiration date? How do you feel like that's changed since you came in the game? How do you think it is now? Like, just the whole music as time goes by, or just creativity as time goes by? How do you feel?
I feel like most music, when you first hear it, is most times an accurate representation of how overall you're gonna feel about it. A lot of that stems from who you are at that time, because so much can happen in so little time. Like 1 year of music could completely change your outlook on so much shit, music wise especially. And then like there's other shit where you could listen to it, and this is like not as often as the other, but you could listen to something, an album, a song, whatever, years go by, and then the next time you listen to it, the appreciation level, the all things are like, damn, what did I miss? But it wasn't what you missed. It's just you needed something to happen before that could hit you the way it does.
Cause like beforehand, back when I was strictly boom bap and Young Thug, that shit's trash, all of it's trash. I didn't appreciate it because one, my mind, like, I'd always loved just out of the box, just creativity, but I wasn't ready to accept it in all facets of what that means. Like for example, Ain't About the Money, Young Thug and T.I. It's like not fucking Exhibit C by J Elect, but it's like the none of the bitches I told these bitches. Put that over a Michael Jackson beat and I would be going crazy over it. Why am I not showing that same amount of appreciation to all artistic avenues? I had to recalibrate my shit.
Yeah, I think we just sometimes as listeners can get stuck in a thing for too much time.
That's the
for
worst.
Too long,
Getting
and then
stuck.
and then don't adapt properly. However, that means for you or whoever else.
Yeah, people get too comfortable. That comfort zone is never the homie.
It can break you. Comfort zone.
Cause like imagine if we stayed on that old head mentality. Sometimes with adapting, people drop the whole ball of what they originally were to adapt. Now adapting is just still, how can you be yourself within a new environment, or like how can you
or a new mentality.
How can you do a new trick on a skateboard and still keep a recollection of the tricks you already learned, instead of just new trick, all right, let me just go with that new thing and abandon all other aspects. Because
that's not adapting.
And I'm only saying that because at one point that was something where I'm like, damn, I don't want to be like that. You know what I mean? It's too much in this world to just stick to one thing. That's just with anything.
And there's nothing wrong with like having more than one comfort zone.
Yeah, exactly.
Like having a singular comfort zone and being too comfortable in that for, whatever period you are, that can be like suffocating.
It really can.
But when you have more than one comfort zone, you can be comfortable in so many different areas that it almost never phases you.
Yeah.
And there's always a place to breathe. You know what I mean? I feel like that's important, because when you don't have that, you almost lose a part of yourself that you could have, that instead you chose not to, because you were comfortable.
What do you think the goal was for this specific outing? What do you think the goal was? Like, obviously we know what the goal was on paper, but like in the long run, what do you think this will do for you, us, the world?
I feel like for us specifically, it's almost a fresh space where we were able to not only, like we said, get shit off our chest, but be as unique but as whole as possible. You know what I mean? And let those two things coexist throughout the music, throughout every track, throughout every beat, throughout every
Giving
verse.
It life.
Yeah. And I think that's something that not to make it a joke, but something that where it's like we needed this. Like we kind of needed to like step out of ourselves for a second.
Kind of that necessary evil.
Yeah. We were able to capture something that other people can attach themselves to. Like, you know how when you watch in a movie, like, there are characters where it's like, yo, that's me. It's like we almost did that, but in music form. Pretty much.
Yeah.
Like, the kind of shit we spoke on, how we spoke on it. Like, yeah, we're making music that maybe one person listening might not be doing or might not even be capable of doing in that moment, but it's something where you could almost like not even relate to, but understand. You know what I mean? I feel like an understanding of who the artist is or what they're trying to convey is very important.
Yeah, because understanding something and relating to something are two different things.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, so I don't care if you don't relate, but like my goal is never to make you relate, it's to make you understand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because there's so much shit going on up here that it's like
a human brain.
To be able to put that out in the world through sound waves and vibrations is like, holy fuck. We did that shit.
That's what I'm saying. That's a powerful ass tool. That's why you hear certain sounds or certain songs. That's why you love it so much. And you don't know why. You just love the song now. It's just your brain is really accustomed to those type of frequencies. You've heard every single frequency that exists throughout the day. There's no possible way, unless you're physically deaf to where you can't hear. But at the same time, people still get stuck because they don't know that they're hearing it. You know what I mean? That's what we try to convey within the art. So I feel like mission accomplished.
I agree.
Yeah, I'm really excited for what's to come because
facts.
This was bound to happen. You know what I mean? And now people are finally witnessing two minds that basically did like this for 10 years plus.
We grew from the roots, like, that we planted.
Just so much growth, like, even just within the placement of, like, little specific ass, like, hi-hats and shit. You know what I mean? It just shows that we pay attention to detail, like, we really care.
When we were younger, and, like, you brought up the fact that we would listen to the type of shit we listened to at that time, the strictly hip-hop, boom bap, all that shit. The fact that we then adapted over time to newer shit definitely benefits how we try to convey it. Like, for example, like with the way we do our 808s.
Yeah.
Like, they're so...
And what's like wild about that is that it draws from different sources of directions, like from like the Kanye's to like just that industrial weird 4 on the floor, like even if it's not necessarily like EDM, but it's like those same roots, or like me being like very much tied with like metal and like heavier sounding music. That's why certain breakdowns in certain songs can go from that to like very just anthemic, just tribal. Because the thing about with like metalcore and shit, yeah, it might be a little cringy, but the way they stay in those pockets, or just you know when a lot of songs like did it, like that's very calculated.
Yeah.
And the drums always sync up, so it's like just blending those influences, or like my affinity for like the down south chopped and screwed shit and like vaporwave and like echo jam shit, with like how we chop samples and That's why I love sample culture a lot, because it shows what your influences are, and like just the ability to chop shit up. It really shows that those seeds have been there for us since the beginning.
But we never strayed too far away from what we've been doing.
Watering the seed.
I feel like a lot of our vocal performances carry so much weight.
Yeah.
Like,
just our vocal presence in general, we really stepped up with that. To where now it's like, alright, we're here, motherfucker. Like, you hear me. Like everybody shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Like, we speaking now.
Like, you could listen to the whole thing, production-wise, and be like, yeah, that's some crazy shit. But that's only half of the pie. Like, the other half is all me and you vocally.
Exactly.
And it's like, I feel like it really shines through.
Yeah.
Regardless of how the production is.
Exactly. Like, the production's gonna be fire on its own, regardless, yeah. We're not just blabbity, flabbity, maggity, baggity, but it's like, we're not just letting the beat do all the work either. It's like that perfect marriage of...
We do half the talking.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We only speak when we gotta speak, and then we just shut the fuck up and just let these 808s.
And that reigns true for both.
Both, yeah.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is that we just getting started. That's that. I always look back at that. It's like, yo, this right here, cool, definitely something we work towards. But we'll have times where we'll look back at where we're at right now and just be like, damn. You know what I mean? Because we're looking back 4 or 5 years ago, like man, we done.
What was we doing?
Yeah. So it's like, as long as you can reset that mind frame and just always be able to have hindsight 2020 as like your best friend, you know. So
we did an incredible job.
Good shit.
We're coming for you. Don't let us catch up.
We gave y'all time.